Oh man, there's a couple of things that made me laugh. Let me
Give me
try
a
to
quote.
find.
Give me something
Man, there's not that.
inspirational. Give me something.
There's.
Give me something, Trace.
I think there's only one quote on the IMDb page.
Well, what is
Like it will not load anymore. Oh wait! I made it, and my computer's just going. Oh yeah, dude, the whole like Ron Kemp thing at the beginning where he's like a Nazi.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. My name is Chester. I'm great. I'm wonderful. Everybody likes me. Hey, Chester, my name's Harlan. And to me, you look like a giant asshole. Well, if I'm an asshole, there's a reason for it. You're contagious.
That's the word.
I didn't even get that.
Oh man. Oh geez. Yeah. So let's just start the podcast. Hello and welcome. Did you not know it was recording?
I had no idea.
Yes. That's why I kept talking because it was just dead air.
I am an
It was
idiot
just
right now.
dead air. And I was like, yeah, Jason, give me something. Give me a good
I think that's why I didn't know you were recording because I was like, there's no way Daniel's going to keep this going for this long.
It was like 40 seconds.
There's got to be an audience out there for this kind of stuff.
There has to be.
We just haven't found them yet.
Yeah, there has to be. But yeah, he is Jason. I'm Daniel, and we are the Red, White, and Blues podcast. And tonight, because Chelsea does not have a football match until the weekend, we're doing around here what we have dubbed the International Movie Break, where we watch a movie, normally sports related. And if you missed the last episode, the Will decided our movie. And it came down to The Descent and the early 90s classic transgender positive movie LadyBugs.
Yeah.
And LadyBugs won out. So that is what we will be talking about and reviewing tonight. So yeah, that quote you heard was in the cold open was Jason.
Not even the best quote. I literally was trying to just get the internet to work. Here's the thing. That quote is indicative of the rest of the quotes of the film. Really they're all the same. They're all just not great jokes.
It was a this movie was not as good as I remember. I'll just say that.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember this movie being so much better. Like watching this, we were talking about it, I think, before. I don't think that was on the cold open about it being on TBS every Sunday and us watching it. Like, because if you know what the Superstation is, if you grew up with the Superstation, you know they showed some classics on Sundays. And LadyBugs was one of the ones they showed quite a bit on there. But this movie. It unlike The Big Green, it did not age well, and I do not have a lot of nostalgic attachment to this movie.
So I do have a lot of nostalgic attachment to this movie. Like I remember like loving this movie as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I now question when I saw it last because I clearly haven't seen this movie in a long time.
Yeah,
it is brutal, and the worst part about it are the soccer scenes. Those are some of the worst things. I thought the Big Green soccer scenes weren't great. But like they're competent. Like I think that they are doing things in those scenes. This is MLS. It might not even be MLS. This is like
Sunday League. It's Sunday League.
This is Sunday League. The type of soccer scenes in LadyBugs is Sunday League. Yeah. And it makes the Big Green scenes look like the Premier League.
Yes. Yeah. And then like the stunt doubles they used were quite questionable, or like I guess not. I don't know, call them stunt doubles, but the fill-ins for when they were actually doing the soccer moves. Ooh. Like I know, like they had a girl that was a little overweight in there, but then when they would show her dribbling the ball, her legs were like this big around and skinny, and I'm like, well, that's not even like. can clearly tell that that's not her. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like,
I mean, and it wasn't even, they would throw words in that were like, we'll say a position here or there.
Yeah.
And we'll make it sound like this is soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they actually played, like all the soccer scenes are basically like some individual like that found it within themselves to do good, or they got angry and they just dribbled all the way down. There was like a couple scenes where Martha. Was where Martha was like helping them along, and like they were passing. But like that is few and far between. Like the soccer in this movie is insane. Like it's not even even the last kick of the game is a penalty kick to win the championship game.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in the box. That tackle that leads to that penalty kick, I'm convinced, does not happen in the box. It happened somewhere around midpoint of the field. And then they were just like, penalty kick. Oh, there's 6 seconds left on the clock.
Yep.
And I'm just like, what is this? What are we watching? That is wild.
And I love the random cut to the ref. And it was always the same cut. She would blow her whistle and then do her hand.
Yes.
And they showed that same cut like 4 or 5 times in the movie. And I'm just like,
okay. Dude, the last game's insane. So like it's the guy from he's in a lot of Adam Sandler movies. I don't remember his name. The coach. And he's like a military guy. He's like running they show his team going through like an obstacle course.
Yeah, like
in
before a soccer match? Like
And then like in the middle of the match, because there's no time, they don't tell you anything about the time until it's 6 seconds left in the game. So like the Army team has gone up 2, and then they get into a fight.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, that's the big reveal that Martha is actually Matthew.
Yeah.
But like they all just take a break forever. I guess you're supposed to assume it's halftime.
Yeah.
But like it seems like they just took a break because of the fight. Maybe I missed the halftime thing. I don't know.
I think they said so. I think it was one of those classic ref cuts where she blew the whistle and it was halftime. So.
I missed it. I was really confused. I was like, why are they just taking a break in the middle of this to then tell the whole team that it's Martha? Okay.
Yeah.
Can we lay down the plot for a second?
Yeah, lay the plot out, man. Do your thing. This is your thing. You're the plot guy.
Oh my God. I was trying to think about this earlier. I don't even know. Rodney Dangerfield is things I don't believe off the bat. That Rodney Dangerfield is the best salesman of this real estate company. They march them in. They do these jokes where they're like marching the real estate guys in through the door.
Yeah.
Like they're going to work. And they are all like, they look like me, chiseled, very, very nice looking men in suits. And then there's Rodney Dangerfield in a suit. And they tell you he's the best salesman of the company.
Yep.
And he will do anything to get a promotion because he wants to get married to this lady
that is like 20
that
years
is way out of his league.
Yeah. Way out of his league.
And another second thing I don't believe.
Yeah.
That Rodney Dangerfield is actually a committed man to this woman. Okay. So anyway, he doesn't get along great with her son, but you see them kind of interacting. He does try. And they talk a lot about marriage and how he's about to get this promotion because he's about to go meet his boss because he wants a promotion because he wants her to be able to quit her job and the promotion would help them afford the life they want together.
Yeah.
Is the motivation. So he's trying to get married. His secretary is very, they have a close relationship. She's very supportive of all the things. Even as he's like going into the meeting because he thinks he's a shoe-in for the promotion because he's the top salesman. I do not believe this at all. He's the top salesman for this company. He's like even saying bye to her. He's like, all right, bye chair, bye you, bye, like he's about to leave her in the dust. And she is like cheering him on,
Yeah.
He goes into this meeting. The boss, not interested in giving him a promotion, the head of the company. And he's trying anything. He's just got out of like this. It's like Ron Kemp or something. Like in the style of Mein Kampf.
Von
And
Kemp.
he's like, he's like a motivational speaker and like
straight up Nazi vibes, man.
Yeah. And at the beginning of the movie, Chester, who's the Rodney Dangerfield, Chester is like basically the guy in the thing was like, do anything to kiss the boss's ass. You get what you want, you know. And so he's like, gotta kiss the boss's ass. So he notices all these soccer trophies. He tries to talk to the boss about soccer. Come to find out, the company sponsors a girls' soccer team. They are championship winning team. They won like 6 in a row. And he finds himself, in order to get the promotion, through a series of other things that happen in the movie, he has to coach the soccer team.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of my favorite quotes was one of the only girls from the previous team. He's like, "Has anybody played before on this team before?" And she stands up and she says, "Coach, you're in what we call a rebuilding year."
Yeah.
And so this is a brand new team. He knows nothing about soccer, and through a series of circumstances, he recruits his soon-to-be wife's son to dress up like a girl to help this team. Shenanigans happen. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Now, I need to read this from Wikipedia.
Uh-oh.
Word for word, because I thought this was brilliant when I first read it. But it's about the casting of this movie. And needless to say, this movie was not received well in 1992.
This movie would be canceled today. This is like...
So Matthew is Jonathan Brandis, who was like a heartthrob at the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like he was in several things. He was in another favorite movie of mine called Sidekicks.
Sidekicks. I was gonna say that. He was in Sidekicks.
Chuck Norris.
With Chuck Norris.
Dude, that movie freaking rocks.
Which we talked about watching.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. We talked about watching that. So
we should have just had a double feature, actually.
We should have done.
Yeah. But he was also cast as like this prodigy kid, like mathematician in a movie or in a show that used to come on called Sequest.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, he was kind of a heartthrob at the time. So casting, I'm just going to read this from Wikipedia, word for word. For the casting of the character Matthew, both Jonathan Brandis and Leonardo DiCaprio auditioned for the role, with the producers ultimately deciding to go with Brandis as DiCaprio looked too convincing in drag, which they felt killed the joke. How awesome is that?
So pretty much they're saying DiCaprio looks too much like a girl.
Yes.
Okay.
And apparently the joke is he doesn't look like a girl, so everyone in this movie is an idiot.
That's true, because he doesn't even talk like a girl.
No.
That's the thing.
Hardly ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a wild choice. It is a wild film. Can you imagine if DiCaprio, one of the greatest actors, regardless of his personal choices, he is a legit actor.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine him in this movie? That would have been insane.
We would have I don't know, I think that would have made this movie more fun, probably.
He would have gone way backwards in his career at the start of his career.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just thought that was brilliant. But yeah, that's basically the movie. There's nothing else to say. Like, things happen. There's like hijinks that happen because he's dressed as a girl. I don't think this movie aged well.
No.
At all in many respects, but I also don't think it also doesn't know what it wants to do. Like, it has no idea, like, because in the final scene, or in one of the final scenes, like, Martha is revealed to be Matthew, and everybody's like, it's a girl or it's a boy, you know, and like all the girls freak out and Rodney Dangerfield's like, you don't need a man to help you win a soccer game. And then, like, at the end of the movie, the joke is he dressed up a girl, like one of the coaches. He's now coaching a baseball team.
Yep.
Because they're doing a year-round sports thing that has, like, made the company money somehow. It's been very successful. And one of the other coaches for the championship baseball game is like, is it true you dressed up a boy as a girl to win your soccer matches? And him and his boss, because his boss is at the game, are like, that is slander, that's a rumor, how dare you repeat such a thing? And then, like, they had just showed you a group of boys on the bus, and he's like, come on, girls. And, like, every boy is like, they've replaced all the girls.
Yeah,
they're now all boys.
Yeah,
in wigs.
In wigs,
like,
in there. Yeah.
What is your message in this movie? Like, if it is like women empowerment, right? Only in baseball, no, sorry. Now it's all boys. I don't know. It's just interesting. Like, somebody wrote a review that was basically like, it literally flip-flops on all of its themes throughout the movie. And it totally does. Like, everything is just for a joke. For a joke, it just is like, oh, you know that thing that we tried to say earlier? Don't worry about it. Like, this is now the joke, So anyway, I don't know. Most of the jokes weren't that funny. But there
was a couple.
Jokes.
So I've got a couple.
You
so
wrote them down? Okay.
Yeah, I took some notes. So I thought, and this just goes to the ludicrousy of it being an early 90s movie.
Yeah.
So there's this dad riding a bicycle with his son who's like an infant in one of those infant chairs in the back of the bicycle. And the girl that Rodney Dangerfield's with is like, oh, look how cute that is. And he's like, man, his son's going to be gay because he's looking at his dad's ass. Just like,
dude,
what is this?
I got another one. Yeah.
All right, go for it. What's yours? I'll have some more in here too.
So in the final match, the opposing team scores in like 14 seconds.
Yeah.
And Chester says, wow, the only thing quicker than that is when I'm having sex.
Yeah. Yep.
What?
Oh,
my God.
Oh, and then you had the classic, they had to throw it in there because it was a 90s soccer movie, the lesbian coach, obviously.
Right, yes.
And the head coach Annie, and she was talking some mean shit to Chester throughout that. And then the fans start chanting, which I thought was funny. And also, ironically, that their team name was the Beavers.
Oh, I know, yeah. Which,
and then they're like,
actually make a joke about that, really, though. Did they?
The fans started chanting, trap those beavers.
Right, yeah.
It's just like,
which I guess is an illusion, yeah.
Yeah. So,
when he's doing the self-help thing at the beginning with it's Von Kemp.
Yeah,
Dr. Von Kemp. Von Kemp says, remember when you get a job, make sure your boss is taller than you. That way it's easier to kiss his ass. What?
Oh,
These
man.
Are
wild. Where was the other one? Oh, the couple random things during the championship match. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile showed up.
Dude, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. And then, I don't know if you noticed, but at the end, after they scored the goal, there was a flag in the background. It was a giant-ass Ace Hardware flag. It was just a big giant flag that said Ace Hardware on it. I'm like,
brilliant.
What is this?
They're looking at houses, him and his wife, because she thinks he's about to get promoted. 2-story house. Yeah, before you buy it, they give you 1 story. After you move in, you get another story. I'm telling you, this is the quality.
Yeah,
this is quality stuff.
Yep.
There's a joke that didn't age well in the championship game. They benched the goalie who started out in the game in favor of another goalie, and she's like, "Let me back in, coach. I want in."
Yeah,
and she is an Asian girl, and her last name is Chu, right? And so there is there is one scene where the assistant coach is like, chew, chew, chew. He's like, what are you sneezing?
Yeah.
And then in the end, she like, there's a montage of her making these very easy saves. And he says, wow, she's like a magician out there. She became the Great Wall.
Yeah.
Dude. Only the 90s.
Only 90s, man. If you didn't grow up in the 90s, you missed some shit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, one of the things in this movie that I did not understand is at one point they were all in the elevator together. Chester and his soon-to-be wife and his assistant were all in the elevator, and they were on the elevator with other people. And then the other people were behind them. And every time the door would open, they'd be like, I'm getting off. I'm getting off. Who announces that they're getting off a freaking elevator? Like, who does that?
Oh my God.
I'm just going to start doing that. I'm going to get in the back of every elevator I go in. I'm going to make sure I stop before people. I'm getting off. I'm getting off. And
they were rude about it too. They weren't nice.
They were.
Oh, here's a quote. So this is Matthew's first game as Martha. And Chester says, he's playing like a psycho. He's nuts. And then his assistant coach says, looks like Norman Bates is playing soccer. And then he said, hey, after the game, no showers. And that's the joke. How this movie got greenlit is amazing.
I don't know. Oh, and then there was another awkward moment in this movie whenever he was asking the girls their names for their whenever he was introducing himself, and the real prim and proper girl stood up, and she starts naming off everything. She's like, turn-ons, pizza. And I'm like, pizza? And she said it. She would be like, pizza, eyes, hair, pizza. She like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, who says pizza's a turn-on? Like,
yeah.
Who wrote this movie? Like, I'm a 90s kid.
Yeah.
I don't ever remember that being a thing.
I mean, literally, though, you could just say the word pizza and kids would laugh.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that
kids
is
got
true.
excited about that. Oh, there is one scene. So it's like at the end when the mom, because the mom is not like Chester is lying to the mom about the promotion because she thinks it's in the bag. And he's really having to earn it through winning the soccer team. But she also doesn't know that her son has been recruited to help in the lie by becoming Martha, right? So she finds out, right? And she's obviously mad. And so Chester goes to the bar and he talks to the bartender and is like, yeah. And he's like, you got woman troubles? He's like, yeah. He's like, tell me, I've heard every story in the book. And he says something like, well, I took her boy and dressed him as like a girl so he would play with me.
Yeah.
And then he gets kicked out.
Yeah.
And then they show a split kind of narrative with Matthew, who is now at a diner, and he keeps asking for milkshakes,
Yeah.
And the bartender's like cutting him off. And he's like, Matthew says, the bartender he's like, you got girl trouble? He's like, yeah. He's like, well, tell me about it. And Matthew's like, we get along great. We laugh together. We like the same music, the same sports. We get along just great. And the soda shop counterman, which is what IMDb says. Yeah. And what's the problem? And Matthew said, she don't know I'm a boy. And then the guy says, well, then you ain't doing it right. The 90s were wild, man. This is like the Wild West of movies.
Yeah, it was. Another thing that Rodney Dangerfield's dad, which is growing up as a soccer parent these last few years, his daughter was on the team. Rodney Dangerfield's boss's daughter was on the team, and his boss comes up to him at one point and says, hey, I want you to take my daughter out the game. Yeah. That's not realistic at all. Just saying. Just want to throw that one out there. That's like the opposite of what happens.
Because he only wanted the best out there so they would win.
That's right. Although they were drinking wine at the kids' soccer match.
That's true.
Accurate. That is 100% true. Yeah, that's accurate. I know no
Nice.
complaints about that. They did break out the soccer book at one point in time, and they started talking about the way to receive the ball and all this, stuff. And I was like, man, some Chelsea players really need to read that book.
Yeah, like the goalie is the heart and soul of the team.
Yeah,
I think it's what the book said.
And it was like, but it said something else too, like intellectual giant of the team or something like that too. Yes. And it was like this. I was like, well, that doesn't describe Bob. So, yeah. I don't know, man. It was an all over the place movie. Definitely would not be greenlit in any way, shape, or form in today's society. But it's one of those things. You just look at it and
it's of an age.
You try to appreciate it for what it is, but it's just an okay movie. It's not that great.
Unfortunately, it's not good. It's really not a great film at all.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Oh, can I read one other joke?
Read one, man. Read away.
Yeah. So Chester is talking to the wife about her son, or the soon-to-be wife about her son. And he says, Matthew and I are getting along great, never better. Last Christmas, we didn't get along at all. I gave him a BB gun for a present, and he gave me a sweater with a bullseye on the back. So stupid.
Oh, man.
I will say, as a kid, because I was like 7 at the time that this movie came out, I loved the Dream song. I had a crush on the boss's daughter.
And you enjoyed the classic 90s. Let's have them run across an open field in their swimsuit montage.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So I loved the Dream song. It's that dream.
Yeah.
Dream. Yeah, it's that song. Yeah, I loved that song because of this movie.
Yeah.
She's straight up just running across the thing in her swimsuit.
That's such a 90s thing. Like, this movie, we talked about it during the Big Green, that there's this formula, like, it's just a 90s movie montage thing. Like, they had the goal saving, they had the whole, we're climbing the rankings montage in this, it had all of those classic 90s things. But in the end, it's just not.
It didn't do them well, though. Like, it didn't.
Yeah.
There's like no narrative tension really. Like everything feels really low stakes. Like everything is played for a laugh. Like they will just flip-flop on the themes for a joke. It's like there's no underdog story. There's no there is, but it's not done well.
They lost like their first game and then they got good. It wasn't like it was just like, okay, they're good now.
Yeah. The Big Green is much better, I think.
Yes. So here's my question that I wrote at the end of my notes that I was taking, Jason.
Okay.
Who wins in a soccer match? The LadyBugs, they get Martha versus the Big Green kids.
I'm gonna go Big Green kids.
I think the Big Green kids would win too.
They're a better team.
They are. They're a much better team.
They tried to sell me that the LadyBugs were a good team, but I like this game though of fictional soccer teams going up against each other.
I don't know.
But you say the Big Green as well, though.
Yeah, I think the Big Green. Although I guess to use an argument this is an argument from the Ladybug movie that I will use here. The Ladybugs do have a black player on their team.
That is true.
And black players are better athletes than white players.
There's a whole conversation. Yeah, and
it was hilarious though. Like, it's like I was like, well, I mean, they're not lying, so
yeah. Well, I mean, and the joke is Rodney Dangerfield has to do all these obscure sports.
Yeah, water polo.
Yeah, he's like better at sports. Well, water polo.
Yeah,
hockey.
Yeah, hockey.
He has a name like. Yeah, he named some other really obscure.
It was some other fencing.
Yeah,
fencing. That's what it was.
Yeah. That was the joke.
Yeah. But
man.
But I do think the Big Green would win. I'm with you. I think they have better players too.
Yeah.
Overall.
Well, there is a scene too where like in the last game, the assistant coach is black and the one player is black, and so they're kind of bonding, and so she's talking about how like the girl says she's scared of the other team, and the assistant coach is like, come here, I'll show you I'll tell you some tactics on how you take care of that.
Yeah.
And then she just gets out there and she's like, just starts laughing at the other girl, and the girl's like, well, what are you laughing about? And she says, oh, if you could see me right now, you'd see what I'm laughing about. And then she's like, oh, look at the score line. She's like, it's not going to be that way for long. And I was like, this is the tactic. Okay. And then she just straight up pushes her.
Yes. Just pushed her down.
And there's no foul. She pushed her right like on the shoulders. Like
she was dribbling.
Came at each
and then
other.
just two-handed shoved her down and then went and scored. It's like,
okay. Yeah. Nothing. I don't think the big green kids get psyched out by that. I don't. No.
Larry,
they're mentally resilient.
Larry will just imagine her as, I don't know.
Yes.
A marshmallow running at him or something. I don't know.
I guess he'll see LadyBugs.
Yeah. I missed one. Yeah. He would see LadyBugs running at him.
I guess. How is he?
Yep.
That's not that scary.
Yep. No, LadyBugs are definitely not scary. So Larry would be okay in this match.
Yeah. I do think it's a low scoring match though, because of both of the goalies.
Yeah. Chew and Larry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Chew had that save montage at the end of the match. So,
she did.
Yep. But,
she totally did.
Oh, man. Well, do you want to give, do we just give this one thumbs down? There's really not.
Yeah. I don't. So here's the interesting thing, right? Like, I don't think The Big Green is that good of a film.
But yeah,
I would say nostalgia for me, like, definitely wins out on that one though. Like, I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's great. But like nostalgia wise, I think that movie ages pretty decently.
Mm-hmm.
Or like nostalgia like wins out like in ways that like I would want it to, and then I also think decent film, right?
Yeah.
But like this one, I don't think has many redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
Like at all. Like I just don't think it's that funny. I don't think it's that like greatly structured. Like the acting is non-existent. Like there just is no good overarching themes that they're just not willing to throw into the bus. Like we can laugh about how ridiculous the jokes are, but we're not like laughing at the joke.
Yeah.
So
we're laughing at the
we're laughing
at context and the absurdity
how they got away with this.
Yeah. The 90s. We'll always say that, man.
So it is a product of its time. It is a movie that I watched as a kid fondly. And then like now I'm like, what in the world? So but it is what it is. I'm glad that we watched it. What a time. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, look, if you're almost 40 like me and you grew up in the 90s, it was different back then than what it is now. We're talking before this. We've got all the podcasts about how like kids today, my son in particular, just gives no F's about driving. And it's like, that's all we cared about was like the day we turned 16 was like, give me my driver's license. I get the hell out of my house. But it's just completely, times have changed, different generations, different people. And some for the good, some for the bad, whatever, however you look at it all. But I always will look at the 90s as being a fun time.
Oh, it was great. So
it was
great. I did want to look at what other movies came out in 92 just to compare the quality.
Boom.
So, hold on one second. I can do this real fast. Using an app called Letterbox, not a sponsor.
Top box office draws of 92.
Yes. Okay, 92, man. Like, Reservoir Dogs.
Classic.
Aladdin.
Classic.
Home Alone 2.
Classic.
Batman Returns. I'm skipping.
Not a classic. Yeah, not a classic.
You're not a fan?
I'm not a fan of Batman.
Yeah. My Cousin Vinny.
Classic.
Scent of a Woman. Have you ever seen that?
No, I've never seen Scent of a Woman.
That's the movie where Al Pacino is blind. I
Mm.
can't remember the whole plot, but he says "hoo" a lot. Wayne's World.
Hey, now that, yeah.
The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Okay. That one has a special place in my heart. I had that on VHS.
Yeah, exactly. Last of the Mohicans.
Damn,
A League of Their Own. Sister Act.
Okay.
I'm not even reading all of these. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a crazy film. The Mighty Ducks, dude.
Yes, that. See, now that's just once again the Mighty Ducks is just a classic '90s sports movies that follows the '90s sports formula. That is fantastic.
Encino Man came out in '92, and that is a ridiculous film that is amazing.
I love Encino Man. Encino Man is great.
Encino Man taught me the 4 food groups.
Okay, hey, see,
Yeah.
Don't say movies aren't educational, people. Don't say movies aren't educational.
I think fruit groups was Sweet Tarts. Vegetable group was corn nuts, maybe. Meat group was a burrito. Can't remember. Anyway, Honey, I Blew Up the Kids.
Okay.
That's kind of wild. Oh, man, there's a lot of... Man, this is crazy. Okay, anyway, that's probably enough. But still, dude. 3 Ninjas came out in '92.
Oh, 3 Ninjas. Oh,
I mean, tell me about it. That is a classic.
That is a classic.
Okay, so, I mean, relatively speaking, the kids' movies that came out.
Yeah. But this isn't a kids' movie.
Compared to this one.
But this isn't a kids' movie.
But
it's PG-13.
Was it marketed as a kids' movie?
It was PG-13, so it couldn't have been marketed as a...
Wow. I guess they were going for the teen crowd then.
Yeah, the teen crowd, yeah.
But then Mighty Ducks would have been more teen.
Yeah, but it was still PG.
I feel like 3 Ninjas would have been like more kids.
Yeah, 3 Ninjas is definitely more kids.
If I look at just the family films that came out, though. Oh, Beethoven.
I've watched that movie more than I probably want to say. I've seen that movie several times.
Same. Yeah, anyway. There's some classics in this realm, I think.
For sure. And I mean, it's one of those things. It's not a classic. Like I mean, like The Big Green's not a great movie, but it's so much more nostalgic for me. And
yeah.
I think the difference is I can go back and rewatch The Big Green and have fun watching it. This probably be the last time I ever watch LadyBugs.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm probably never going to watch this movie again.
I know. I'm so sad because I remembered it fondly. And it doesn't age well, but it also is not good. The Big Green was at least like heartwarming and good, and was just a solid film in general.
Yeah.
But
for sure. I mean, I think that about wraps it up for our review of LadyBugs. Sorry if you were a fan of this movie.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Yeah.
But probably I would say this probably my least favorite of the movies that we've reviewed on here so far.
Yeah.
So it's whatever.
Yeah.
But
agreed.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess you got anything else you want to say about the movie? Anything else?
No. I mean, what else can you say about LadyBugs? What else is there to say?
I don't know.
I mean,
that's about, I guess tell the people where they can find us these days.
That was a good bit you and I just did. Okay. We are on X. We are on Instagram. We are on Threads. We are on Substack. And we are on YouTube. So if you're listening to us audibly, you can see us visually on YouTube. We made it easy for you. All the handles You can find us on all the things at the same handle at Red White Blues FC.
That's right. And listen to us on Spotify or Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast at these days. And we will be back with another episode in a couple of days. We will be previewing the Chelsea v Liverpool match that is coming up this weekend. So stay tuned for that. And we will talk a little bit about that match. It will not be a long preview, but we will talk about it and give you, I guess, our predictions maybe. Yeah, I'm sure we will.
We have to.
Yeah, we got to. Unfortunately, I'm with you.
What a stupid game we've decided to play.
What a dumb game. Yeah, we will be back in a couple of days. So check us out. Check this video out. Check that video out. If you don't like Chelsea football, just go back and watch some of our other movie reviews that we have on the channel.
Yes, go back and watch those.
Yeah, go back and watch those. They're cool. There is more than likely for most of them some kind of corresponding blog on Substack for those movies as well. So check that out. But until next time, we'll catch you guys and gals on the flip side.
Nostalgia is a powerful drug. Flippity floppity.